Hello and welcome to Regular Features, the show that's the same every week. This is episode 13. I'm John Blythe, and I've got to tell you a fact about myself.
Oh. And I'm Steve Hogarty, and that jacket from Hong Kong I got, I don't like it. I'm not wearing it anymore. I've gone back to the old one.
Is that a follow-up fact about yourself?
This is it's 3 in a row.
Like ongoing.
The Coat Trilogy, as we will know it.
You'll never hear about it again.
I'm Matt Lees, and I'm going on a plane tomorrow to Canada.
Why? Fucking...
Regular features.
And now it's time for Steve's regular feature, Steve's emails that he's been getting from Barack Obama. I've been receiving a lot of... You might not know this about me.
No, you didn't
but,
mention
No, this is one thing you haven't been talking about.
I'll keep it to myself until I can collate enough humorous emails that it can be formed into a regular feature. This one is... Barack Obama's been emailing me, basically. I think I ended up on a White House mailing list somehow. But I've been getting these emails. They started off quite innocuously. Things you'd normally expect to get from the White House.
Right.
Saying, today's election day, so for goodness sake, if you haven't already... This is from Rufus Gifford of the White House. He said, today's election day, so for goodness sake, if you haven't already and have the chance, go vote. Today I want to invite you to join a group of grassroots supporters who make regular donations to keep the campaign growing for the long haul. Please donate $1 a day, less than your daily cup of coffee for the rest of the election. So that's a couple of £100.
Your daily cup of coffee for the rest of the election?
Yeah.
That must have been quite a long...
Cup of coffee?
Yeah, well, that election was ages ago. When was this?
That was this is for the re-election in 2012. So this was sent on the 8th of November.
He's been doing it for a while then, sending you these emails.
Yeah, for a very long time. But they got really strange really quickly.
Right.
That one was from Rufus, one of his lackeys.
Gifford, the Giffer.
The White House swine.
But then Barack himself emailed me. And the subject caught my eye. It was, sometime soon, can we meet for dinner? I was all like,
well...
Okay, well, finally someone's recognised.
It's
a bit forward, isn't it? Have you met before?
No, I've seen him on TV, but I don't think he's listened to regular features before.
No.
He knows you're a man who can pull in the big bucks from some of the more important lobbies. I know what I'm talking about. Politics. Lobbies.
Politics, numbers, money.
The reason they want everyone to chip in is because the Democrats don't take lobbyists' money, do they?
No.
So I think they're trying to be very above board and just say, just give us your money. So this is actually right. This was what the email was about. It's like more of a raffle to have dinner with Barack Obama. He says, supporters like you are the reason I'm here, and the values we share have always made our organisation more than just a political campaign. So whenever I can, I want to take the opportunity to meet you. Today I want to ask if you'll join me and 3 other supporters for a meal and conversation sometime soon. And then he says, enter $5 into this online accounting system to be automatically entered for a chance to join me at dinner. His true colours.
So basically it's a dinner lottery.
Yes. I was misled by Barack Obama.
So have you, I'm assuming though, if it was me by this point, right, I've just had an email from Barack Obama asking me to go out for dinner with him. I'm reading through the email.
I've got my Google Calendar open in one tab.
Open. I assume you've already rented a tuxedo as well before you've got to the end of the email. Yeah. So you must be quite upset by this point.
Well, it's...
Upset? Why? It's almost certain that he's going to be having dinner with Barack Obama.
Well, maybe not, though, because it's entering into a lottery system, you see. He has to pay $5.
I'm sorry, all I heard was I'd like to invite you for dinner with me and my lovely wife, Michelle Obama, who will have her knockers out throughout.
Yeah, I think you might have not been listening properly, Log.
I've got the doodles to back it up. And by doodles, I mean erection. I don't know.
Makes sense to me.
Well, it's funny you should mention bringing Michelle because Rufus then got in touch to say, who do you want to meet the president?
Me!
Is Rufus like his pimp?
But he's like, okay, so we just launched our next Dinner with Barack contest. They're calling it a contest now. And this time there's a big new twist. Each winner can invite a guest. So as you celebrate Thanksgiving tomorrow, look around the table and ask yourself, who would you bring? It's hard to think of a better gift for your parents' best child or best friend than the chance to accompany you to dinner with President Obama.
It's hard to think of a better gift for your parents than to choose one of them to take with you to dinner.
And also, a better gift than the chance to accompany you. So, oh, yeah, for Thanksgiving, here's a chance at something.
It's your birthday. Well, guess what? We might be going to dinner with Barack if I win this lottery.
So I was starting to sort of lose a little bit of enthusiasm.
No,
for the
never
dinner.
lose enthusiasm here, Steve, because at the end of the rainbow there is a beautiful big brown pot of gold.
Barack got back into it.
Thank God for that. You're straight to the top of the tree.
He says, Steve, and I like they got really sort of abrupt, emotive language. It really got me quite excited when I read it. He said, if you win a seat at the next dinner with 3 other supporters and me, you'll get to bring a guest. I thought I'd bring one too. So I invited Michelle. She's in.
With her knockers out. She's in, knockers are out. I tell you, it's all coming true as I prophesied in these line drawings.
And he just says,
Next email.
thanks, Barack. And that's it.
She's in.
She's in.
I'm bringing my... I think that's a bit weird because, I think so. Because, if you invite some people around for dinner, right, and then you send an email around saying, oh, thanks, guys, I hope you still come for dinner on Saturday. I just thought I'd let you know that my wife will be coming as well.
Yeah, that's weird. If she wasn't there and you'd
would
just
she-
turned up, you'd think he wanted to do it with you. No, Michelle's not here.
No one else
Sorry.
could make it.
And I'm tugging away at your pants.
It's all right, I've got plenty of wine.
For you and 3 supporters.
Well, everybody needs support sometimes.
Well, who should email me next but Michelle?
Ooh.
Fucking Nora.
And she says, subject header, straight to the point, Steve, I want to meet you.
Oh,
This is getting weird. So she's told Barack that she can't make it to the dinner party when actually she's all the time trying to arrange to meet you behind his back.
Somehow she's found my email address. You're talking to
go
me
through
directly.
his emails.
The irony of this is insane. She's using the party as an alibi, but this is insane.
It's a
Carry
way
on.
to wrap a big black knockers around my cock.
Yeah.
Stuff one of them into your cock. A big, luscious brown knocker. Oh, God.
Carry on, Steve.
She says, Steve, I'm excited for the chance to meet you and whoever you decide to bring to dinner.
It's very open of her.
Yeah. I really hope you give this a shot. Give $3 or whatever you can to be automatically entered for you and a guest to have dinner with Barack and me. Hope to see you soon, Michelle. She's still towing the contest line, but there's a glimmer of
She seems
can tell-
definitely
you can
interested.
tell
So
what
who are
she's
you
up
gonna
to.
who are you gonna bone? Are you gonna bone Barack or Michelle?
well, I'm sort of imagining that we all just take our clothes off at the end and see who we'd gravitate towards. Because those 3 supporters might be awesome. The other 3.
Yes, you think you might just forget about, even though you get the fame of being like.
So
I
there'd
just
be
banged
four
up with those
of
guys.
us, and then 4 of our friends. So
Right.
there'd be 8.
They wouldn't invite losers to dinner
10.
with them. Really.
Oh, I don't know who else is on this email list, but
Could be anyone.
I doubt they're sending these emails out to anyone.
Well, they're not sending them to me.
I didn't get one either, actually.
It went all quiet after that. I didn't get anything until Jill Biden emailed me asking to sign her husband's birthday card.
What? Who's Jill Biden?
Joe Biden's wife?
Joe Biden's wife, the Vice President of America.
All right.
She
Shows
says,
how much I
He's
know
not the
about
most
anything.
charismatic person in the world.
she said, Steve, I know I don't usually send you emails, but Joe has a birthday coming up this Sunday, and I'm trying something new.
A gift voucher.
And she says,
I've just added a few things on an Amazon wish list for him.
I know I don't usually send you emails. You don't have to preface your emails with that. Like, if you are the Vice President's wife.
I know this might seem weird. Don't tell Joe I've done this. But here are some JPEGs of my lovely white knockers.
Oh, those president ladies.
I bet she's BCC'd Joe in.
Why are you getting? Yeah, because that's what turns him on. Oh, BCC me in on that, baby.
I don't know why I'm getting.
You're just
getting
getting so randomly. You're just getting emails from politicians in America.
Yeah, They want.
Just to clarify, those are all real. That's
Yes,
not because they're not sort of they didn't end up sexy at all. So I'm assuming that they are real.
Yeah, I haven't fabricated anything. If I put more effort into the feature, I would have fabricated a final email with Michelle thanking me for the gratuitous sex acts I performed on.
Thanking you for being tidy and pulling out before you spunked onto the provided flannel.
White House flannel. Just,
Do you think they have special flannels in the White House?
they must do, with big eagles on them.
Not pictures of eagles, eagles on them.
Just don't say spunk on the eagle.
Okay, it's time for my regular feature. This week's regular feature. This week's regular feature is about abusing children. Now, I've recently had a article I wrote for a magazine featured, which is about when about 10 years ago I used to take advantage of kids in an online MMO game and get them to spend all day mining coal for me. Now, I think that whilst I do feel slightly guilty about this, in retrospect it is still quite funny. But it has sort of reminded me that sometimes people get really, really upset about stuff like that. Like, you know, people exploiting kids and that. And
I've seen something on the internet today that was kids' drawings that had been filled in by an artist. And basically, they'd drawn a monster and he'd filled it in to make it look a bit more 3D and scary. And it's full of people going, oh, if I was a child and you'd done that, you would have made me feel inadequate. And I hope you never showed it to them, you big adult show-off, showing kids that they're shit at art with your drawn-in pictures.
Yeah.
I used to be a teacher, and if you'd have done this to any of my children, I would have had you taken out and fucking killed. It was just really oversensitive like that.
yeah,
That
well,
was the
that's
voice I read into their night.
people get really, really sensitive about kids.
It was they were terrified that the children were going to feel inadequate, but I don't know
They
how.
fucking should do. They're tiny and shit.
Yeah, but how do children not go around all the time just feeling constantly rubbish because they're shit at everything?
Yeah, and they're really small as well.
They're tiny. They get beaten up. They get bullied in school.
Children
can't
must
do
never
anything,
be
really.
exposed to things that are better than they are.
Well, these are all very good points. And actually, they are backed up by lots of research. That the creation of this, an interesting fact, not funny, but interesting fact, the creation of the modern child being this fragile thing is an incredibly modern creation. It was actually only invented as a concept of children being fragile and damageable about 40, 50 years ago. Before that,
Too right.
the entire
The concept,
thing.
but the children were invincible.
Yeah, no, but
before
that's what I mean. It's, as a concept, yes. because
Shove them
people
up the
used to,
chimney, sniff this, and I've put them in the factories.
yeah. No, but it was always presumed, it was a common knowledge that the great thing about children is they just bounce back. A child can run over and fall over and break his leg, and his leg will grow back and not grow back. But he'll get six
Grow back
legs.
twice as big.
But no, they're invincible. Like, they bounce off things. They're hardy. They're not like adults. Adults get
Their
I've
one
fallen
weak
over.
spot is the fingertip in the top of the skull,
Yeah.
which can be used to stop them if they get too full of themselves.
Press the emergency brain
Yeah.
kill button.
I always think of that spot on the skull as, you know, when in Art Attack they make paper mache balls by wrapping wet newspaper around a balloon.
Yeah.
And then they pop it inside the through the paper mache thing. That's how I think of it. And then you can stick your finger into it, and you can sort of feel the balloon kind of giving way, and that's the skin breaking as you snap into the hole of the skull.
That's a vividly thought out thing that
worry.
you clearly have been thinking for a long time.
And if you like Dan, I've got a semi.
For the listeners' benefit, Steve's hands are covering his penis.
It's true. But yeah, anyway, I was thinking about times where I maybe had done like bad things to kids and thinking, should I feel bad about them? Now, I've got two examples here, and I want you to tell me whether or not I should feel bad about these. And if you've done bad things to kids that you'd like to share about, obviously they have to be legal, but then we could share them. But yeah, first
It's
of
okay
all,
if you're a kid as well, though, isn't it? I suppose, does this have to be adult on child violence?
Yeah, because I did really shit things to kids when I was a kid.
well, no, that's fine. But I think you've got to have like an age difference. So like, I thought of them as being kids. If you think of them as being kids, then it means that counts, because I was probably only about 13, 14 when I did some of this stuff, but I still felt like I was doing bad stuff to kids. But the funniest one, I've kind of let my sort of sentiments on this.
I thought you just said you just let off.
I let off on a child.
No. That would have been funny though. No,
God, I've got the feeling this is going to be really harrowing. Come on.
it's not that bad. It's not, but we did this thing where there used to be these kids who played on our road, right?
Used to be. What?
Oh, Jesus.
But no, basically, there's a brother and a little brother, and they used to like fight all the time. And the little kid was really annoying. I think we just called him Little Christopher, who's probably the name of a rapper now. I don't know, but
Little Chris.
Little Chris, yeah. We used to call him Little Christopher, and because he was really annoying. But then one day we saw him and his sort of slightly older brother, who was like older enough to be like stronger enough to just stop him. So basically, he was completely useless. But they were having this massive argument, and I was there with a couple of other friends, and we were walking off to go and play rounders, and we had sort of a foam baseball bat, you know, one of the ones with sort of a sort of like, it's got pink squishy foam on the outside, but still got a like hard plastic in, so it's not like going to hurt too badly, but you could still hit people with it. But we thought it would be funny just to give the little kid the baseball bat, and so we gave him the baseball bat, and he just sort of like, we just watched as this little kid ran around beating his brother up with it for about 30 seconds.
You just gave him tools.
I just gave him a weapon.
Means to an end.
I did, and I don't know if I should feel bad about that, because I don't. I think it was really funny.
I think you've given yourself plausible deniability, and that's important. If you're going to enjoy being cruel, it's important to be able to blame other people.
You have no idea what you could have done with that. Maybe you could have started constructing a utopia immediately.
Yeah, what if I hadn't given him a weapon?
No, if you
benevolent
like using it
dictator.
to like hammer in nails in this utopia.
Well, that's true. That's true. But I think it was
carpentry utopia.
It was quite clear in the circumstances that we were on the edge of a very, very shouting, loud argument between the brothers, and we did kind of realise that basically we were throwing fuel on the fire for personal entertainment. It is basically like giving a peasant a sword.
Upshot: did anyone get really fucking hurt?
No one got really, really hurt.
Then it's fine.
You're fine. No,
I think one of them did cry, but kids cry all the time. I used to cry all the time.
I hope the second one's better and more children actually get harmed.
Second one was when I was working as a helper at Beavers. I was probably about 15, and I used to help out at Beavers, and I just kicked one.
No, brilliant.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Excellent.
He was just
where did you kick him? On the rump?
I can't remember. I think I just kicked him. I think he might have been on the floor, actually.
Fair enough.
I think
they
he was
ain't going to
sitting
get
down.
you when they're on the floor.
He was sitting down, but I think I just kicked him in the shins. But I still remember the fact that I think I was standing up and he was sitting on the floor, and I just kicked him. And I wasn't allowed to be a helper at Beavers after that, because you're not allowed to. Apparently,
you're not allowed to kick them.
One of the first rules about working with kids is you're not allowed to kick them.
Don't kick them.
But yeah, that was like, should you kick kids?
Fucking this nanny state, health and safety, fucking political correctness. I won't have it.
Oh, I've got a friend who's just started doing some like part-time work with cathode, right? You know,
what's cathode?
Who's that? That's something you stick down your dick end, isn't it?
No, that's what you think everything is.
Well, it's amazing. Most things fit, so I stick them in.
Michelle Obama's left hip.
We're right in there.
I'm still not convinced the logistics of that.
Well, you have to put her tit into one of those ice piping devices for a cake, and then you put the end of it into your dick end, and then you just massage it in.
I think you need to squeeze it into a pipette.
Oh, a teat pipette. That's why they're called that.
Teat pipette will be my dancer name.
Cathode.
What about it?
It's a Catholic charity, but apparently my friend started working there part-time, and before you have to start, you have to sign this like massive fucking document. It's like 30 pages, basically saying you're not going to do anything with kids. You're not going to talk to kids. You're not going to like have consensual sex with kids. It's like, it's specifically just like, you're part of this Catholic thing now, so it's really important that we get you legally saying that you're not going to do anything with kids at all. But it's the most spectacular legal document.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling on the cusp of saying something about the Catholic Church. Anyone else?
It's just too obvious.
Yes, exactly. That's why I phrased it like that, to show that I'm slightly above it. While still getting the benefit of the joke. Having your cake and eating it.
Well, I'm clearly aware of the problem. But have either of you ever kicked a kid? Or
Yeah, I've kicked plenty.
I'd need one in the nuts, but he was older than me and he was my bully, so I was allowed to.
that doesn't count. That's just you like fucking the man.
Fucking me levelling up, mate.
Yeah.
Priests, they need them in the nuts as well, don't they?
They need them in the nuts. Yes.
Yep.
You're from Ireland. Do you have any problems with priests?
Just a general dislike of them.
Right.
I've never been touched or chased down an alleyway with.
Do you feel a bit like left out?
and come up against a brick wall and turn around and he's there and he goes, and it says, I've got you now.
And you try to climb the wire fence, but he grabs your ankle.
Yeah, just as I'm getting over it. And I sort of kick, and then then there's a gun. No, hang on. I find a gun and I point it at him, and if I shoot him, that's my innocence lost. And then there's a gunshot, and everyone thinks I've done it, but
as he drops to the floor,
yeah, and it's someone behind him. I don't know,
Clint Eastwood.
It could be anyone. It could be Clint Eastwood, and he's shot him. And in doing so, he saved my innocence in many ways. In two ways. One, I didn't get raped by a priest. Another one, I didn't kill a man.
Amazing.
So that's what it's like growing up in Ireland.
Another insight into your youth. I did say to someone once, at least my mum's not in a wheelchair, and it sent him proper mentally punched me, and I deserved it. He was always telling me off for not being able to run fast. He called me spastic. He said, "Oh, Johnny No Legs does a run at last. He's a spastic." And I went, "Well, at least my mum's not in a wheelchair." And he didn't like it at all.
Calling you Johnny No Legs.
He called me a spastic. His mum was in a wheelchair, and I drew attention to the irony in an elegant way, I'll admit it. But at least I could walk.
Well, I think the heartening thing about this is we've all at some point been terrible to kids and have no regret about it whatsoever.
That has haunted me. Whenever I think about saying that to him, I do involuntarily slap myself in the face. I was only about 11 years old.
I got in a fight with a kid once, and I ran home. He lived across the street, and I was sort of banging on the door for my parents to let me in because the kid was going to come back and beat me up. And I was shouting swear words at the kid. And my dad opened the upstairs window and started telling me off for swearing. And I was all like, "Could you please let me in because I'm going to get beaten up?" And he didn't.
And
Did you get beaten up?
Yes.
I'd have fucking smashed the window and then gouged my face across the shards of glass because I wanted more sympathy than I was probably going to get otherwise.
Wow. Well, that was the end of this week's feature. Don't ask Steve about Ireland.
Bienvenido a las características regulares.
And now it's time for my regular feature, which I started making up 10 minutes ago, and that is my flag to you to say, don't expect much, eh?
Don't expect much.
Don't expect much from me.
Hey?
I'm too good to make any effort for this shit.
I think it's
I'm
fine.
sorry. I'm going to go for it. It's called, Why Don't People Talk About Dreams? Why do they say it's shit when you talk about dreams and boring? Because I think talking about dreams is brilliant, especially my dreams, which I've had and are great.
Do you like listening to other people talk about dreams?
Not generally, no, because I don't have any attachment to them and it's boring. But my dreams, when I talk about them, I'm enjoying it mainly.
Okay.
Take this last week.
Right.
I have had a bit of a cough and a cold, and we've installed a mouse-repelling ultrasonic thing. And I think the combination of those two things has led me to have some particularly memorable dreams. Take Monday night, when I was lying on the floor, paralysed, begging passers-by to just kill me.
In your dream?
In my dream, for about 8 hours. It was a constant. Every time I woke up, I thought, fuck, it's still happening. Then I went back to sleep again, and it was just basically exhausting. I woke up absolutely exhausted.
It's like Inception when you don't know it's a dream. So you were actually going through the cognitive motions of asking people to kick your face off.
Yeah, please, just kick my face off. It'll sort everything out. Mate, if it wakes me up, that's fine.
8 hours.
If it just kills me and puts this 8 hours of hell to bed.
And also, if it is like Inception, then you could have been in that gutter for days.
Yeah, I know. You can imagine.
Maybe a version of you is still there.
No, that's not happening in Inception.
Is that not?
No.
You're thinking of a dreamscape? I don't know. Anyway, the next night I dreamt I was Batman, and that was wicked.
That's awesome.
So it's like driving a Batman running around all the rooftops.
So
like that.
you've gotten over your ego problems.
Quite quickly, yeah.
Well, the thing is, I think it was related to the fact that I've been playing Batman, the video game.
Yeah,
So, what do you think? The dreams actually come and tie into reality, don't they?
What were you playing the night before? I'm a useless prick, kill me now.
No,
the
but-
video game.
No, I had a bad neck.
Oh, right.
And I think that might have fed into the, neck mobility.
Yeah.
Anyway, the
right.
night after that, I dreamt my dad had killed my nan.
As a doctor, I'm going to prescribe Batman.
You used to play more Batman before bed.
The thing is, my nan's really old and she's probably going to die soon.
So
She's fallen over twice in the last week and it's really annoying my mum.
God.
Oh God. So you
Is
haven't
it?
told
Hang on.
your-
So your dad killing your mum's mum?
Well, I think dad killing her is probably just a kind of metaphor.
Metaphors.
Oh, my nan's got this skin that's all translucent. It looks like sort of someone's. It looks like
sheet
oily paper.
Oh,
And you just want to pull it slightly apart and see if it tears.
they do go transparent as they get older, don't they? They turn into.
That's
like,
what people
That's
think
what
ghosts are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how ghosts happen. Is sometimes people don't die; they just keep going invisible.
Well, they
and
end up
people
looking
go,
like-
"Oh, where they gone?" And actually, they are still there. They're just a ghost.
the man off the Sudafed packet. Except it's your nan.
Who would
She
win?
does has informative stuff going on inside her.
Who would win in a fight between the man on the Sudafed packet and the man in the Gaviscon adverts? You know, the sort of-
Oh, no, but Gaviscon now is fireman spunking down your
yeah,
throat.
but it's like is it?
Yeah.
But it used to be like a fireman made of Gaviscon.
What would happen if you ate Calgon?
That's another feature for another time.
A live feature.
Calgon.
Let's all eat Calgon.
This leads me to a blog entry that I made 6 years ago because I'm not really,
Naturally.
I'm not writing anything new or doing anything impressive in my life, so you might as well just retread old shit you did that's not even that good. So it's 10 dreams I have had, and I want to tell you all about more dreams that I've had because people should talk. I should talk about my
3,
dreams
so we've
more.
got
I think.
another
We've
10.
only
Okay.
heard 3 or 4.
Okay,
so
well,
I could-
let's do
Oh,
some.
I had another dream this week. It was that Milhouse had died.
From The Simpsons.
Yeah, Bart Simpson had left him in the treehouse getting punched by a robotic punching machine. And then at the end of the episode, it cut back to Milhouse and he was dead and still getting punched.
Who even thinks about The Simpsons these days? Let alone watches it?
I had just watched an episode before going to bed.
I think I've developed a theory about how you can control your dreams.
This is how Log's tiny mind works.
I don't trade in analogy on it.
This is a metaphor for watching The Simpsons. And this one's a metaphor for playing Batman.
I'll know this one. This is a dream I had regularly as a child. I am on one side of the world, and everyone I know is on the other side of the world. The world splits down the middle, and I am left alone.
Wow.
What do you think that dream means? What do you think?
Were you?
What do you think of fear? Is
Now-
that just representing any fears
I'm
I
gonna
had
go-
as a child?
I think
go on a
it
limb here.
represents your confidence in social gatherings.
I think it's probably, and I'm just going out on a limit, but before you had that dream, before you went to sleep, were you standing in the world and found yourself being split from the rest of the world via some sort of earthquake?
I think that's probably it. It was the day that the world cracked in half briefly.
yes. You see, I
And
think,
it happened just before I fell asleep that
yeah.
day.
So
Sleep.
I think that's probably what it is.
That's a relief.
The rest of these dreams really are shit. It's a terrible thing, isn't it,
I had
talking
a
about dreams?
I had a similar dream to that when I used to be going through an underground labyrinth with water in a boat with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trying to find
April.
Shredder.
Underground
Shredder.
labyrinths, so like sewers.
Yeah, maybe like 'cause it was like
I think there were sewers.
yeah. Well, it was a labyrinth in my head. It was slightly different.
Well, the sewers are like a labyrinth in New York.
That's true. I couldn't
Were
find my way
they-
back.
Steve, speaking from experience here, 3 years you spent lost in a sewer after your dad threw you down a drain for being a prick.
And too right too. But yeah, no, I had that dream like all the time when I was a kid. I had it like that was like my reoccurring dream.
I also had a dream about being in a car and the car drove off without me being in control, and I think that's about a fear of not being in control.
These are really complex. I mean, yeah, I used to have, to be honest, like my dreams, I don't really remember dreams. The only time I remember dreams is when I'm quite heavily intoxicated. So like either when I'm really drunk or like maybe something else. And I did have some really weird dreams at uni.
What
when I was
else?
kind of full of a cold.
I don't understand what
What else is there?
There are things you can smoke, sir.
Jesus.
Yeah.
references.
Not good for you, that.
Such things.
It's not good for you, and I don't do it anymore.
Anyway, carry on with your story.
But anyway, I did have a dream once at uni, which was very odd, which was kind of result. I think I was full of a cold and just went mental. I had a dream in which I was at a funeral, and I can't remember who the funeral was, but somebody I knew. But anyway, half of the people at the funeral were people I knew, and half of the people at the funeral were were all of the characters, the cast from 6 Feet Under, because I was watching a lot of 6 Feet Under at this point. And then everyone started fucking.
Nice.
But it was like really graphic, and everyone was fucking everybody. And I was obviously really annoyed because I didn't get to fuck the crazy one who goes out with Nate, and anyone who's seen the show would appreciate that.
Death and sex.
She's crazy,
very,
but
very
she's fit.
thematically intertwined.
It did feature at one point, it was brief, but there was a graphic scene.
Genuinely agree.
Which a graphic point in which I saw my brother sucking off Nate. That was weird.
Oh,
Yeah.
how big was it?
I don't remember.
Oh,
It was only a brief thing. It was just this moment of looking around and realising that literally everybody was fucking each other without
did he look
any
like
kind
he
of
was,
care in the world.
Had he been coerced into doing it?
I don't know. It seemed like everyone was just up for it. It was just like, oh, it's a funeral. This is what happens. The two families. It was like a wedding, but at funerals, the two halves
it's
of the
like a
family.
wedding because that's where everyone fucks. You wouldn't have batted an eyelid if it was.
I don't know.
Funerals are like the opposite of weddings in many ways.
Well,
If
is there a reason you said that apart from...
sorry, if there's a reason he said that, yeah, I'll reiterate his question.
Well, I think the reasons are obvious, right?
Yeah, too obvious to be pressed on.
Yeah, just don't ask any more questions. Lest you look stupid.
Well, yeah, that was a particularly weird dream I had once. Most of the other dreams I've had about being about time travel and pirates and that.
Well, I had a dream where I went into a bar that served numbers and I asked for a 7 and a 3. And he said, don't you want a 10? I went, no, it tastes different.
Fuck off.
That's true. It's written down here in my blog of dreams.
Oh, so it's true, yeah. Okay.
Is that something about a bit willfully funny you've written down?
No, that's just fucking annoying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
that's a sixth form sketch.
I had an annoyingly, seemingly willfully wacky and random dream in which I was collecting beetles, showing them to Rowan Atkinson, who wasn't in any of his famous characters.
He wasn't Johnny English.
He wasn't Johnny English, although I had seen the trailer for Johnny English earlier that day.
Prior to falling asleep.
Prior to falling asleep.
To the Beatles.
And he was analysing them and sort of giving me feedback on the Beatles. I think he was collecting them, like he had a Beatle collection.
Right.
And, I was doing like a really good job, and he was really impressed with the work I was doing. I woke up feeling really pleased, and then just feeling really disgusted at myself for having such a random dream.
You kooky boogies.
Yeah.
I was collecting beetles for Rowan Atkinson.
It's just the way my crazy brain works.
That's the thing. Crazy brain dreams.
I'm mad.
You don't know what I'm going to do next in real life. Imagine how mental my dreams are.
So have you got any other good dreams?
I've got one where I was eating a bag of crisps and when I finished them I woke up.
That's not a good dream. I don't understand what where
I
are we
like
going
crisps.
with this feature?
I haven't even had crisps. I like crisps. So that was more of wish fulfillment than my brain mulling over the day.
I would be surprised if you ate a bag of crisps and then immediately dreamed of eating another bag of crisps. I would say that's probably also wish fulfillment.
Or maybe you have a dream in which you turn down a bag of crisps because you just had some.
Do you have those dreams where you pee in the dream? And,
Oh, for fucking hell,
No,
yes.
I've never had one of these.
it's 50-50 chance whether you wake up and you've just pissed a bed.
My statistics bear out differently. I generally haven't pissed the bed. I do dream a lot about needing a piss and having a piss, but then in my half dream, I've stopped panicking about it now because I have that dream so often that I'm fairly confident I haven't pissed or shit the bed.
Ooh. Okay, well...
I once thought I was having a dream where somebody died, but then it turns out that actually somebody had fallen out of the loft outside of my room and collapsed in the corridor. That's a story I can't tell for legal reasons.
Is that a story of someone else's shouting, "Oh, fuck, I'm dying," and it invaded your dream?
Sort of. It was sort of the bump and the crunch, and then thinking, "Oh God,
Crunch?
someone's died." Yeah, they broke their leg. She was a very, very stupid bitch.
Fuck her then.
No, I'm not being funny, but it took me about half an hour to get her up into the loft in the first place. I've just realised that
that stupid bitch. I told her she was confined to the loft.
oh God!
And I went to bed thinking she'd be safe in her manacles, but she bit her way out of them and then threw herself down.
Middle of the night, falls to the landing, breaks
It's not what
her
it
leg.
sounds like. It's not what it sounds like.
And I was having a lovely dream about her being dead as well.
It's even harder to get her back up with a broken leg.
Oh God! I think I'm just going to leave that.
Well, this is an unexpectedly successful feature based on me digging out an old blog entry and saying fucking boring stuff.
All right. Well, that was this week's episode of Regular Features. Thank you very much.
I thank you.
Me too. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Where do you stand on the future of regular features?